Okay. So welcome today. I'm going to guide you through a very active and challenging yoga class this afternoon that I am calling Twist the Stress Out, so that you can clear your Manomaya Kosha. So in yoga, there are energetic bodies, and our Manomaya Kosha is our mental body. And when we're stressed, we have a lot on our mind, our Manomaya Kosha can be blocked. So as we twist the stress out, our intention is to clear our mental body so that our thoughts are clear and calm, and we can really choose what we wish to be focusing our attention on. So we're going to start at the front of the mat in Tadasana, Mountain Pose. And of course, if anything doesn't feel good, please don't do it. I'll give you a lot of options. And if there's something doesn't feel right or you want an adjustment, please just let me know, and we'll figure something that feels really good and nourishing for your body. So we'll start facing the short side of the mat in Tadasana, and really noticing your feet, the contact that your feet are making, and checking in that you're not leaning on one foot more than the other. So you have balanced weight through both feet. The back of the head is just slightly floating up away from the shoulders. The fingertips are guiding the shoulders and the arms down away from the back of the head. This lengthens the back of your neck. Just taking a few moments here. And connecting to the movement of your body with your breath. The entire torso gets a little bigger as air comes in. The entire torso gets a little smaller, a little narrower as air goes out. And checking with your mental body, your Manomaya Kosha. What is on your mind? Being aware of any distracting thoughts, but letting breath out, letting them float away out of your attention. And then you're going to swing the arms up and overhead for extended mountain. Reaching the fingertips up, but still connected to the floor through your feet. A little tempting to throw the pelvis forward and compress the low back here. So right on top of your legs. And then for our first forward fold, you're going to swan dive, letting the chest reach forward, but not the chin. So in your first forward fold, you can have your knees a little bent. That helps the back have a little bit more support. And allowing your breath to move into your low back here. Maybe holding your elbows for ragdoll. You can shake your head no and nod your head yes. Really noticing the out breath. Breathing out any distraction. And maybe even swaying your arms, your upper body side to side. And then you're going to place both palms on the floor and step back for plank. So you have options here. You can put your knees down if you want a little bit less, or tuck the toes and lift the knees off of the ground for more. Checking your elbows, that you're allowing the eye of the elbow to aim forward. And that will aim the point of your elbow back towards your feet. Also, checking in with your hips that they're not sagging down or pushing up higher than the shoulders and the heels. There's one line. By keeping the lips closed, you start to collect heat in your body. a little warmth. And then you're going to let your knees find the floor. And folding the elbows, hugging the elbows in towards the ribs to come all the way down. You're going to push your toenails into the floor, lifting your kneecaps off of the floor, and bringing your palms underneath your armpits. The shoulder blades move down the back and towards one another as you look a foot or two ahead of yourself for Cobra Pose. There's very little weight in your hands. And floating back down. From here, we're gonna go back up into Cobra, using the upper back muscles, but also having strong legs, really reaching through the toe tips and pushing the toenails into the ground, maybe lifting your hands off of the ground. Let breath out. You can tuck the toes to come straight up to a push-up. I have a little injured elbow, so I'm gonna do it from my knees and then tuck my toes for plank. Letting the entire core, so it's the front, back, and sides that are supporting the abdominal area, and then push back for your first downward dog. And you're gonna pedal the feet out, warming up the feet, warming up the ankles, and then letting the heels float back to the ground, pushing the floor away with your hands, and once again, also orienting the eye of the elbow forward. So you don't want your elbow pointing out to the side. Coming into stillness for your downward dog. You're going to reach your right heel back for three-legged dog. And you're going to fold your right knee, bring your shoulders over your wrists and tapping your right knee above your right elbow. And then coming back to three-legged dog. You're going to let your shoulders float forward over your wrist again and bring your right knee to your left elbow. And then pushing back for three-legged dog. And then floating the knee all the way through. So it's in between your hands, and then let your left knee find the ground, untuck your left toes, and we'll come up for a low crescent. Feeling the contact of your right foot on the floor, letting the foot spread out, and then you can let your hips melt forward while you bring the right hip back. So we don't want to twist out to the left. Your pelvis is parallel to the front of the mat. And go ahead and reach the hands up. And you're going to clasp your hands behind your back and reach your knuckles towards your left knee to open the chest. And then unclasp the hands, reach them back up. And you're going to reach forward and around the right front foot. Tuck the left toes, come off of that knee. Finding stability here through the legs. And then coming up to Crescent Pose. It's almost like you're bringing the inner thighs towards one another and both sides of the pelvis are aiming straight ahead. Getting some heat in the legs. Then you're going to fold forward, bringing your left foot to your right foot. Forward fold. Pushing down to the feet as you reach your arms up and over for extended down. reaching the fingertips as high as you can towards the ceiling. And then you're going to swan dive down. You can have a little fold in the knees if you wish. Half lift, extending the back of the head across the room. So we don't want to lift the gaze and the eyes, back of the head across the room, and melting down slowly on an out breath. From here, place both hands on the mat, stepping back to plank. You can go to push-up position from here, or you can put your knees down, and then all the way to the floor, to your belly. Untucking the toes, pushing strongly into the toenails, bringing the hands underneath the armpits, or cobra. So you can come a little bit higher. And coming down, tucking the toes, and coming back up to a plank position. And then pushing to downward dog. If it feels like your spine is rounded, you can bend the knees a little bit to really lengthen the spine. And then letting the heels find the ground. Rotating the eye of the elbow forward. Extend your left foot behind you. And then reach it through to in between your hands. Dropping the right knee. Left knee is right on top of the left ankle as you come up for low crescent. Reaching the hands up. And then bring your left hip a little further back so that it's parallel with the right hip. And then you're going to lace your hands behind your back with a funny grip. And then reach your knuckles down your right thigh to open the chest. Unclasp the hands, reaching up. We're placing the hands out around the left foot, tuck the right toes. And then we'll come up into crescent. Strong legs, left knee is right on top of the left ankle and you're pushing back. So you're not on the outside of the right foot, you're on the toes of the right foot. And then reaching forward, step forward, or forward fold. You're gonna reach out to come up for extended mountain. Swan dive, letting the chest open as you dive forward. For a half lift, the fingertips can come to the floor, to your shins, to your thighs, and then melting down. Maybe going a little bit deeper by hugging the calves. Taking the hands to the mat, stepping back to plank. And then here you can go either knees down for push-up or hugging the elbows in towards the ribs for a push-up. And we're gonna push through for upward dog. Strong legs, toenails are into the ground, pushing the floor away with your hands. And then back to downward dog. Checking that your whole palm is on the floor. That will help to protect the wrists. Reach your right knee back. Sorry, whole right leg. Right knee to right elbow as your shoulders come over your wrists. And then reach back for three-legged. Right knee to left elbow. And then you're going to extend your right leg so that your foot is in the same line as both hands. And then you're going to reach up with your left hand for fallen triangle. Opening the chest. Left hand down. Bringing the right knee to the chest. Extending to three-legged. Bending the right knee. Opening the right hip. Look towards your right foot. Then let your right foot find the floor behind you for wild thing. Really reaching the right fingertips across the room. Opening the chest. Opening the front of the hip. And then finding the floor with your right hand. Reaching the right leg back for three-legged. And stepping through to low lunge. Drop the left knee, tuck the toes. Reach up. We want to bring that right hip back. And then you're going to reach behind you, sending the knuckles towards the left knee as you open the chest. But watch your low back, that you don't jump into your low back. So your belly is coming into your spine as you're looking up. Unlace the hands. You're going to bring your left hand in the same line as your right foot. And then with the thumb pointing up, you're going to take your right hand and reach for your left foot. So we're reaching to the outside blade, and the thumb is up. That's much easier on the chest and the shoulder joint. And then maybe you can even look over your right shoulder. Blocks are great here, so if you feel like you don't want to go this low, you can have a block underneath your left hand. Reaching the left toes back. Bring the arm up and over, around the right foot. Tuck the back toes. So finding strength and stability through the base here of the right and left legs, and then reaching up for Crescent Pose. Belly button to spine, so we're not arching the low back. We're not flaring the ribs. The ribs are coming in and back. And now you're going to bring your left hand down to the floor in the same plane as your right foot and reaching up. Forward twisted crescent. Pushing strongly into your left hand, you're going to come to the outside of your left foot. You can leave your right leg here, or you can reach it back for side plank. And then coming back to plank with the right hand down. Stepping forward to forward fold and rest here. Push down through the feet to reach up for extended mountain. And forward fold, swan dive. Chest is open here. Legs are strong. Half lift, so long spine from tail to the back of the head, and then melt down slowly. You're always in a rush to get to this second forward fold. See if you can find some little nuances. You melt down into this forward fold, getting warmer. You can take your peace fingers around your big toes and extend the spine. You're gonna hug the elbows out to the sides while you bring your torso closer to your thighs. And letting go of the thumbs, placing both hands on the ground and step back to plank. We'll come down to push-up, hugging the elbows in strongly. We don't want them out to the side. And curling forward for upward dog. Strong legs, strong glutes, open chest. And roll back to downward dog. Reaching your left leg behind you. Toes are pointing down, so your hips are square. Floating the left knee to the left elbow, as high as you can get. Reaching back for three-legged. Loading your left knee to your right elbow, and then extending the left leg. So your left foot, right hand, left hand are in one line. And then reach up with your right hand. Fallen triangle. Such a glorious pose. Let your right hand come back down. Bring your left knee to your chest. Reach it back for three-legged. Fold the left knee. Turn the left hip out. Look for your left toes, maybe wiggle them a little bit. And then let them reach behind you for a wild thing. Like pushing the hips up towards the ceiling. Opening the front of the body. Nice, fun back bend. Let your right hand come back down. Come back to three-legged. Step it through. Drop the right knee. Untuck the toes. Reach up. Or crescent. Bring that left hip back. And then let the pelvis come forward to open the front of the right hip. You're going to let your right palm find the ground just outside, just inside of the left foot. I find I like to tuck my toes and then come to the top of my knee, not on my kneecap. And then I'm going to bend my right knee, reaching back with my thumb pointing up to grab the outside of my right foot. Gently letting go, reaching the left arm out and around. Come back up, reaching the hands behind the back, opening the chest. Maybe even letting the chest and the upper spine lengthen back. And then now we'll tuck the right toes and come up to crescent. From crescent pose, you're going to let your body come over your left thigh and then push off of your right toes to come to single leg mountain. Turning the right thigh and knee out. Bring the outside of your right ankle to your left knee. And sit back for figure four. If you fall out of balance, it's just no big deal. So you let yourself lose balance and then come back to the pose. If you are wanting something a little exciting, you can bring the outside of your right elbow to your right arch. I have the wall here, so the wall's helping me a tiny bit. As you push into your right elbow, that twists you in this figure four shape. And then maybe you bring your right foot down, or maybe you come up, woo, to single leg mountain. And you can shake out your left ankle. Balance is a little off today, so I'm like, hey, we're falling all over the place. It's fun. Go ahead, now you're going to take your right knee and put it out to the side and bring the right foot either at the floor, at the calf, or up into the thigh. But you don't want it on the knee. And let's start with hands in prayer, or hands overhead, or arms open, or tree. The thighs are strong. The foot pushes strongly into the left thigh. The thigh pushes strongly into the right foot. And then you're going to take your right hand to your right knee, turn the knee in, and either use a strap, or hold the knee, or take your peace fingers to your big toe. And then extending the foot forward. Now we don't want to curl the spine, so I'd rather have your knee bent then your spine bent. And I have to use the wall today. So you extend the leg forward. So it's better that your knee is bent than your spine is bent, your legs straight. Then from here, taking your foot out to the outside, to the right. Bringing the foot back in. And we're going to change the clasp. Left hand to the outside of the left foot. We'll see if I can do it. Right hand first to the right hip, then maybe reaching backwards. And extend the right leg. Can be bent, can be extended. And then we'll bring the leg back to single leg mountain. And reaching back for Crescent Pose. Woo! From Crescent, you're gonna bring your right hand down next to your left foot. And then looking over your left leg. Or revolve lunge. Maybe you might even want to reach your hand behind you to open the chest. Reaching the left hand up, you're going to come to the outside of your right foot. Then bringing your left foot on top of your right or in front of your right for side plank. And if you're up for a challenge, maybe taking peace fingers around the toes and extending the leg. And bring the left foot back down to plank. And walking the feet forward for forward fold. Woo! Working hard. We'll push down through the feet to reach up for extended mountain. Swan dive into forward fold. Reaching the head across the room, fingertips to the shins or the thighs for half lift. And melting down. Deep forward fold. We'll bring the hands to the floor, step back into plank. Half push up or you can come to your knees and pushing through for upward dog. And then rolling over the toes for downward dog. We'll reach the left heel back. Toes are pointing down. Floating the left knee to the left elbow. Reaching back. Floating the left knee to the right elbow. Extend the left foot and reach up with the right hand for fallen triangle. Right hand down, left knee to the chest, three-legged. Opening up the hip, bending the left knee, looking for the left foot with your eyes. And then letting the left foot find the ground for a wild thing. Opening the heart. Letting your left hand find the mat. Or for three-legged. And then stepping through, in between the hands, dropping the right knee, untucking the toes for low lunge. Let's reach up. Nice and supported through the legs. The legs are strong. Go ahead and reach your hands behind you with the odd grip. Let the knuckles slide down your legs as you open the chest. Reach fingertips up. And then moving your right hand in the biggest arc possible to get to the floor. I like to tuck my toes so I come to the top of my right knee. I'm going to reach back with my thumb pointing up to grab the outside of my right foot. Slowly letting the right foot float to the floor, reaching the hands back around the left foot, tuck the right toes. Coming up, 2 crescent legs. Finding stability here as you float up to crescent. We're going to take the biggest arc possible to get the right hand to the floor. So not just straight down, but reaching away to come down. As you reach up through the left fingertips, opening the chest and twisting the torso. Let your right foot, the blade of the foot, come onto the floor. And then stepping back to side plank. You can come to a tree here. So left foot is on the right foot, or you can grab the toes with your peace fingers. That comes back down. Bring the left hand back to the floor. And walk yourself forward. Resting in a forward fold. How you doing?
Thumbs up.
Good, good. All right. So we're going to do one more round, that same last series, but a little speedier. We'll try and do 1 breath to 1 movement. And then just taking care of yourself, listening to your body. If you notice you're holding breath, let breath out. And that's the best way we stay supported in our yoga practice. So from here, pushing down to the feet, floating the hands up. And diving down. Half lift. And let the quality of movement be very floaty. Forward fold. Step back to plank. And push up. Elbows hugging in. Extending into upward dog. Pushing back to downward dog. Right foot, 3-legged. Step it through, right knee to right elbow. 3-legged. Right knee to left elbow. Extend the left leg. Reach up for fallen triangle. Left hand down. Right knee to 3-legged. Bending the right knee. And moving into wild thing. Reaching, opening the front of the body. Right hand down for 3-legged. Right foot through to low lunge. Untuck the left toes, reaching up. Clasping the hands behind you. Reaching down the left leg, open the chest. Reaching up. Taking the longest arced path to get the left hand to the ground. Folding the left knee, reaching behind you. Unfolding the leg. Tucking the toes for crescent legs. Wait till you have stability here. And then reaching up. Longest path possible to get the left hand to the floor. Reaching the right arm up, opening the chest. Reaching the right leg to on top of the left. Maybe peace fingers to big toe. And right hand back down. Walking forward to forward fold. Feels like it's nothing when you do it one breath to one movement. Pushing down to come up. And biggest pathway to get to the floor. Reaching the head across the room as you come into forward fold. Moving with a giant out breath into half lift. And melting into forward fold. Hands down, step back to plank. Push up. And floating up to upward dog. Rolling back to downward dog. Left heel up. Left knee to left elbow. Three-legged. Left knee to right elbow. Extend the left leg and reach up. Falling triangle. Let the hand take its time to float to the ground. Right hand down. Left leg back up to three-legged. Bend the knee. Let the left toes find the ground for wild thing. Bring the left hand back down to the ground or three-legged. And step it through. Untuck the right toes. Reaching up for crescent. Taking the biggest path to reach your hands behind you and clasp the hands. Aiming the knuckles down the right thigh to open the chest. And then reaching up. Let the right hand reach far and away before it finds the ground. As you reach up with the left arm, holding the right knee, holding the blade of the right foot with the left hand, thumb is up to open the chest, bringing the right hand, left hand back down, untuck the toes, finding stability in Crescent Pose as you reach up. You're going to let your right hand flow down to the ground. Coming to the outside of the right foot. And then reaching the left foot to the left, to the right foot. I think I just repeated the same side. Extending the leg. Oops. And coming back to plank. Walking the feet forward. Forward fold and rest here. Let's float the hands up and overhead to come to extended mountain. And hands to prayer. Let your breath really move into the entire torso. So I skipped a little standing portion on the left side. We're gonna do that now. So let's reach the hands up. We're just gonna step the left leg back into Crescent Pose. From Crescent Pose, we're gonna come into single leg mountain. Bring the left knee out, placing the left ankle on top of the right knee for figure four. And then for fun, see if you can bring your left elbow to the left arch of your foot. As you push the elbow down, that twists you more. Pushing down to the right leg to come into single leg. And then we'll bring the left foot against the right thigh for tree. Hands at heart center, or overhead, or open. Then you'll bring your right hand to your right hip, your left peace fingers to your left toe, and then extending the leg forward from here. Take it out to the side. And we want the spine long and aiming up towards the ceiling instead of curling over the leg. And then we're going to switch the grip, right hand to the outside of the left foot, reaching the left hand behind you. And then maybe extending the left leg. We'll bring the left foot back down to tree. And then bringing the foot down, shaking out the right leg. All right. From here, we're going to reach up and over. Swan dive to a forward fold. Go ahead and place your right palm underneath your right foot. And then your left palm underneath your left foot. And you're going to fold your elbows out to the side to bring your body closer to your thighs. Deep forward fold. Taking a couple moments here. You're letting your breath rate slow a little bit. Take the right hand out, left hand out. Letting the hands come onto the floor, and then you'll step back. Right knee, and the left for tabletop. Again, second elbows, so the elbows aren't pointing out to the side, but the point of the elbows aiming back. And then you're going to push back, reaching the hands a little bit forward, reaching the hips a little bit back for extended puppy.
Puppy, yay.
You can reach the right hand a little bit further away to open the right side of the ribs and the right armpit. And then reaching the left hand a little bit forward, opening the right lats and the obliques. And then bringing the hands back underneath the shoulders for tabletop. Reach the right arm up, opening the chest. And then threading the needle, bringing the right hand and arm underneath the left armpit. Tuck the chin. Push strongly into the left hand. You can even reach the left hand further away from you. Bringing the left hand back towards you, pushing into the left hand and reaching up through the right arm, opening the chest. And right hand back down. Do the second side. Reaching the left arm up, opening the chest. Bringing the palm underneath the right armpit for thread the needle. Tuck the chin. Reaching your right hand away from you get a little leverage to open the upper back. Let the movement of your breathing massage your back, massage your kidneys, massage your digestive tract. Bring the right hand back in. Pushing into the right hand and lifting the left arm back up. And back down. From here we'll come forward onto the belly. You're going to push your toenails into the ground so the knees lift a little bit, and reaching the hands behind the back, releasing the fingers. You're going to reach your knuckles towards your heels for Locust Pose. We really want to think of opening the front of the body, even though the back is working. And floating back down. You can rest on one cheek. Lay on your belly in prone position. You can really feel how the abdominal area moves into the floor as you're breathing. And folding your right knee so the foot is aiming up towards the ceiling, and then folding the left. You're going to take your right ankle in your right hand, and just gently hugging the heel towards your hips, opening the front of the hip and the quad. Then you can switch cheeks and do the same thing on the second side, taking the left ankle in the left hand and hugging the heel towards the glutes. If you push down through the pubic bone and the pelvis, you get a little bit more length through the quad. Taking care of your knee, of course. And then you're going to take both ankles in your hands and kicking your feet away from you. You're coming up into a little bow pose. And you don't want the knees splay too far out, so they're more parallel with hips. And gently coming down. Letting your cheek find the floor, letting the legs. Windshield wiper here, side to side. You're going to push into your forearms and bend your knees. You're going to come up into another downward dog. So tuck your toes and sending your hips back. Reaching your right heel back behind you. And then you're going to float your right knee right next to your right wrist. Now, the heel can either be close to your right thigh or away from your right thigh. Away from your right thigh will be a deeper stretch. Closer to the thigh will be a gentler stretch. And you're going to look out, opening the chest. And then folding down. What's really important is that you're not falling onto the right thigh as you fold over your legs. Maybe having a block underneath the right hip can be helpful too. Or pigeon, reclined pigeon. Really noticing breathing moving low into your body. Well, the twisting also really requires our brain to work much differently. Pushing into your forearms and then coming up to your palms. Tuck your back toes and push back to a three-legged dog. Shake it out. Bring the right foot down. Extend the left heel. Floating the left knee to the left wrist. You can always use a block underneath the left thigh if you feel like you're falling onto the left thigh. We want to be parallel to the front of the mat, looking out to open the chest, and then folding over the left shin for reclined pigeon. And just noticing your mental body, your manamaya kosha, noticing any thoughts, and just allowing them to move into your attention and then float far away. Pushing down through the elbows and the forearms to come up to the palms. Tucking the back toes. Sending the left leg back, shake it out. And then you can let both knees come to the ground. Let the hips swing around on the floor. Coming to a seated position, you can hug the knees as you roll down your spine onto your back. Just even taking a moment with cactus arms, letting the chest rest in openness. And then we're going to do eagle arms here on the floor, so you can extend both arms up towards the ceiling. Taking your right arm underneath your left. Folding the elbows. So here you can either bring the backs of the forearms together or wrap the forearms so the fingertips and the palm are touching. And then letting the elbows float away from your sternum. And then unwrapping the forearms. And bringing the left elbow underneath the right. Folding the elbows and either placing the backs of the forearms against each other or wrapping the forearms around each other. And push your elbows away from your upper back. Letting the arms unravel. We'll take the right knee in towards the chest. You can also extend the left leg out straight. And then on an out breath, let your right knee fold across your body for a twist. Twist out the stress. Check your right shoulder, that your right shoulder and upper arm are still on the ground. You can even extend the right leg. Folding the right knee and let it come up and around over your belly. Hug it in one more time. And then let the right foot find the floor. Pushing into the right foot to fold the left knee. Hugging the left knee in. Extending through the right leg. And pairing the movement as you let the right knee cross over your body. Sorry, the left knee cross over your body. Move on an out breath. Check that your left shoulder, left arm are on ground still. Let your body move with your breath. Go into the pelvis. And then you're going to float the left thigh over the belly. Back around to center. And floating the right knee up as well. You can rock side to side and massage a little back. And you're going to, with your thighs hug towards the outsides of the ribs, let your feet, the soles of your feet, point up towards the ceiling. Maybe you hold the shins. Maybe you hold the ankles. Maybe you hold the outsides of the feet. Massaging your low back. You can even rock a little bit towards your left and bring the left knee to the floor and extend the right leg. And then bend the right knee, rock over to the right, let the right knee find the floor and extend the left leg. And folding both legs in, hugging yourself. Doing anything else your body's requesting. And then you can let both feet find the floor. And extend the right leg first. And then extend the left leg. Maybe letting your arms reach a little bit out and down away from your armpits. For final resting pose, Shavasana. Letting yourself enjoy this rest. Thoughts arise, you can acknowledge them and then let them far away. Noticing how your body breathes you. You can begin the process of back into your body. Sliding your thumbs past your fingertips. Maybe wiggling your toes. Rolling your wrists and your ankles. And a big yawn and stretch. Hugging the knees in and then rolling to your side. So you're going to look towards the floor and let your face on your upper body point towards the floor while you walk yourself up to sitting. It's easier on the neck and shoulders. Coming to a comfortable seated position. And then you're going to reach your arms out and up and overhead, meeting the palms over center. And then letting the palms float back down. Where the thumbs touch the third eye or the point in between the brow. We're going to look up and then fold over our legs. Thank you so much for spending this time with me and sharing your practice with me. Hope you're feeling a little bit clearer in your mental body. You sweated out the stress or twisted out the stress. Namaste.
Namaste.
Great.
Namaste.